course. The sixth hole is conceptually the same hole, has a back tee to get the landing area to where you can hit a little bit longer club before you get into the water up here. The bunker is extended so you can get a better view of this, what's a kind of a blind. I mean, you can see the top of the hazard stakes, and then of course the green's in the same spot, and I'll explain the lake here getting lowered when we see this. So this is, you know, the view, of course, now, and you, of course, to know where the water is exactly, it's really hard to believe there is any water when you look at the picture. This is also something, obviously, would be better on that side of the path versus kind of in line of the view. I mean, if you take that picture, you say, well, how come that's there? But you feel like you would, from the tee, should be able to even see the lake that's up on the left, which you don't even from the tee, much less as you drop down to the fairway where you see this bunker and then you see kind of a ring of stakes. But to be able to drop this water down, to have the bunker come back, so from the tee, you'll know where that hazard line is. You'll also be able to see the edge of the green on the water, which will be very good. And then, of course, you know, as we're rebuilding this green in this pond, all of these ties, and this is kind of an ongoing thing that you're probably going to have to just budget for because a lot of this railroad tie work is now decaying. I mean, you can see how hollow a lot of these are in places they're starting to lay over. Here, you know, that part of the lake, and there is just literally, you know, half a meter deep. Most of it maybe a meter deep. So there's a lot of opportunity to be able to get kind of a little bit deeper and cleaner water there on that edge. So that's pretty much what's happening there. No real changes to the green or bunkering concept at the green. This is kind of a good example of what, you know, you do find here at Las Brisas. I know there's, at one time, looks like there was a lot of interest in the trees and shrubs and a lot of care given, and then over time things have just kind of been left. And I mean, it's growing on a sharp angle up kind of by 7T that has a marker as though it was a special tree in somebody's mind at one time to note this particular you know, Latin name and common name of the tree. But of course now it's just sitting there kind of lonely, sadly, kind of leaning at a 45-degree angle. So there's a number of trees as you walk around the golf course like that would be nice to, okay, if that's a variety that's really for the golf and good for shade and all the kinds of things like that, let's plant 3 or 4 or 5 of those, that same species, have them looking good, looking healthy, and then put our marker down and say, okay, here's our nice little grove of trees. But as somebody as a visitor who's playing and you see things, which you do see if you're a visitor, it doesn't really represent the club. It's particularly what appeared to be at one particular point in time a kind of a passion that somebody had for this kind of arboretum experience.